Bam, bam, bam. What is up, and welcome back to Nando Talk. We've got a very fun Tinfoil Hat Thursday planned out for us. We'll be talking some quarterback, mainly combine rumors. A lot was said. There was that big Rich Eisen clip talking about the Aaron Rodgers rumors about him trying to be on the move, and the Jets have reached out their interest. They're going to wine, dine, and 69 him. Since then, Derek Carr has gone to the Saints, so there is a little bit of clarity, but Lamar Jackson got hit with the non-exclusive franchise tag, which means that a team can offer to sign him. They'll send 2 first-round picks as compensation, and the Ravens will have the opportunity to offer to match. They can only deal with teams that have a first-round pick this year, so it does negate the Miami Dolphins. We will talk about what that means. If there is a chance that Lamar comes here, really no, but hey, we've got the Tinfoil Hat Talk, so I'll keep everything open-minded, and then we'll hit the other rumors as well. There is still talks about Jalen Ramsey potentially being shopped and traded from the Rams. We've got plenty of other news about players getting cut. Some running backs have been franchise tagged. Others are still out on the open, so we'll see how the league is still going to be shaking out, and we've got a lot of interesting stuff, and I wish we could talk about it more. Things like Devin White potentially being traded from the Buccaneers. Levante David saying he's not coming back as well. A bunch of good options on the board, but unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, we are going to be talking quarterback first. And, Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets potentially. I don't think that move is going to happen. Try as the Jets might, they did do the same with Derek Carr, bringing him to New York, sitting down with him, trying to smooth things over, and it didn't work out. He didn't buy into their culture, their winning culture, or lack of winning culture, honestly, and he ended up in New Orleans. So to say that the Jets will get Aaron Rodgers, to me, is far-fetched. However, as a Dolphins fan, and you're going to need a tinfoil hat for this one, I relish the idea of Aaron Rodgers coming into the AFC East. I want him. I want him to go to the Jets. Do it. I want New York to mortgage their future, to sacrifice picks, maybe some players, go in, risk it for the biscuit for an aging quarterback, a quarterback who I have been fond of for many years. But honestly, he is not the same Aaron Rodgers, and one of the reasons I don't want him on the Miami Dolphins. So take him, put him on to the New York Jets, because you know what that does for the Dolphins? It gets us kicked into high gear. It allows Miami to re-wake up and say, yo, hold your horses. The Jets are loading up. We've got to continue making moves. We can't get confident, rest on our laurels. And that's exactly what I want. Competition breeds excellence. And I want the AFC East to be competitive. I want it to be a bloodbath of a division. I want it to be tough year in, year out, because then I'll know if the Miami Dolphins are legitimate. I won't have to hear the excuses of, oh, well, the Patriots only got through because the AFC East is garbage. No, I don't want to hear that noise for the Dolphins. I want to hear, the Dolphins were absolutely murdering teams left and right in one of the hardest divisions in football, and we're doing that throughout. They'll be sharp, ready, hungry, and that's the type of Miami Dolphins I need. That's the energy I need to see. Carlos, thank you for tuning in, man. Hey, if the Jets get Rodgers, they give up a lot, set them back, and he's way down, not afraid of him. I am not afraid of Aaron Rodgers. Like, no disrespect to the man. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks over the last recent memory. And of that old guard, especially that Tom Brady is retired, he is the last of the Giants, the last great QB of old. Okay, we're not including Matt Ryan. He's already aged out of that, honestly. He's the last guy. But I'm not afraid of Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't inspire fear in my heart. It was awesome seeing on Christmas Day, but I didn't see a god. I saw a mere mortal there, and that's fine. Put him in New York. Granted, improved weapons, of course, but a much tougher environment in the sense that Green Bay is a winning culture. We're talking about a team that, had carried over from Bart Starr to a little bit of a hiccup to then Brett Favre, then Aaron Rodgers. They don't know that turmoil, not like New York does, not like the Jets with the scrutiny, that dumpster fire of an organization. Send them to New York. I relish that idea. Because, like we're saying, it'll force the Jets to sacrifice their future, and when it doesn't work out, they're screwed for the long run. But in the short term, it pushes Miami to continue to make moves, to continue to be smart. And I know what we're saying. Okay, Nando, if you're ready for these moves, and if you're saying, okay, Good. Send Rodgers to the Jets so the Dolphins wake up, so they light a fire under them, so that Sleepy Greer is awoken and he starts wheeling and dealing. Chris Greer, we're going shopping. Okay. I want him to wake up and go get a nice middle linebacker. Bobby Wagner's released. Levante David looks like he's going to be available. Devin White might be a tradable option. Running backs are getting franchise tagged, and Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. Dalvin Cook might still get released. Okay, I don't want him really, but anything. Make some big moves, bro. Get a good offensive lineman, okay? Go do something. But that type of move of bringing a quarterback to the AFC East will awaken them. Whether it's Rodgers going to the Jets, whether it's the Jets getting Jimmy G, whether Jimmy G going back to the Patriots, those type of moves, I love that competitiveness. I want them to be there. I want Miami to stay sharp for years to come. So keep up that competitive nature. Come on, AFC East, catch up, baby. Let's rock and roll. So then I know what you're saying, Fernando. If you want to make Fernando, whatever you want to call me. If you want to make all these moves, if I'm sitting here saying let's risk it for the biscuit, trade for linebackers, trade for secondary pieces, let's get a nice running back, whatever it may be, move up in the draft, trade down and get picks, whatever. Let's make some smart moves. Why not go for QB? Why not go for Lamar Jackson? Well, the Miami Dolphins were one of multiple teams who went out there and when asked, and we'll touch about that in a second, but when asked if we were pursuing Lamar Jackson, we once again said no. So did the Commanders, so did the Falcons, so did the Panthers, many teams. And the Dolphins actually can't talk to Lamar until after the draft because we don't have a first-round pick in this year. So once it's the draft, it starts switching over to the next year, and then we'll be able to make a move for him. That would mean that for the next 6 weeks, I think, until like April 28th, 29th, no team will send Lamar Jackson an offer that he agrees with. That means and if he does, then the Ravens will have not matched. It's ridiculous. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is this good to just assume that he's not going to get any offers. The Ravens already said that they're pretty much allowing him to do this so that he can realize what the market is out there for him. And then they'll probably just offer a little bit more money and keep him in Baltimore. Okay, just so he gets a little bit of clarity about what his worth is in comparison to other NFL teams. I don't see another NFL team going out there and giving him all the guaranteed money that he wants. Whether if it's $230 million, he wants $230 million guaranteed. Okay, I can see a team giving him $150 million, $160, $180. They're not giving him the full $230 because I get it. He wants his safety. He wants that assurance. And Deshaun Watson got it. Lamar Jackson deserves it. But there's no collusion. There's no conspiracy. And I know it's weird to hear that from a guy with a tinfoil hat on, but there is none of this. The teams are banding together. How weird is it that a bunch of teams came out and out of their way to blackball Lamar Jackson, say they're not going for him? Well, they were asked. And, I think it's Diana Ritchie, Diana ESPN. Dov Kleiman was talking about it. A bunch of people on Twitter were making up a new story about what she was reporting. When she clarified her report, it was that many reporters of those teams were asking, hey, blank team, are you going for Lamar Jackson? And the team would respond, no, we're not. Okay, so they're just replying to questions. That turns into a big story of multiple teams have expressed their desire that they have no desire to go after Lamar Jackson. Well, they were asked about their desire. Okay, it's not that they're going out of their way. It's not like they're all banding together to block Lamar from getting a big payday. No, it's just a bunch of media people asking similar questions and a bunch of similar responses because teams don't want to. So look, it's a risky situation to play in. Yes, it's a cheaper bargain for a QB. It's only 2 first-round picks in theory. But if you send that offer, you're publicly stating to your starting quarterback, hey, we don't want you. We want Lamar Jackson. And then the Ravens can just offer the sheet, keep Lamar, and then you're left there. Oops. It'd be like trying to set up a date with someone else and just while you have a significant other, okay? You show up to the restaurant, they don't, and your significant other's waiting there for you. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. And what team wants to be left in what team wants to be left in that situation? I know the Dolphins don't. Not when Tua has performed to this level we've seen. And yeah, I know I'm a Tua near. I'm a Tua lover. I've got the Tua jersey right there. We got a Ryan Tannehill jersey right next to him, man. I'm a fan of the Dolphins, man. QBs come and go. I'll still be here. But I want Tua to stay because it's just the best thing for this team. We keep him on a rookie deal. We keep our picks. We keep our future alive, and we continue to add players. We're already working on the cap. Byron Jones was released. Granted, it's a post designated June 1st cut, so that $13 million coming in will be later on. But we'll be able to use that for rookie money for later on depth if we need to sign some later on summer guys. In the meantime, we've already had guys like Bradley Chubb restructure their contract. Maybe Emmanuel Agba follows suit. The point is the Dolphins are opening up money, and I get it. It's fun. It's honestly awesome to think about Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle in this bubble of a world. But what it means and the cost of it, and again, it's not about being cheap. It's about almost like allocation of resources, first round picks, cap space. When we have a rookie quarterback who has shown he can do it, it's just a health concern. Yes, I'd rather take the gamble on improving the team around him and hoping that when he's healthy, that team can be at 1,000% ready to clobber, to crush any opponent in their path. And to hope that if Tua does go down, that our backup or whatever game plan we have in place, that the team itself is good enough that we can still compete, okay? I don't want to just rely on one sole man to hold everything together, Spider-Man style, trying to hold the train back with the two webs. No, man, I want a beautiful golden team of heroes who'll stop the train because they're just a team of heroes. That's what we need to see from the Miami Dolphins. We need to see a team that's going to focus on adding running back, hopefully in the draft with the talent that we have. And I'm going to keep saying it. There's 13 running backs there are 13 running backs with a grade of round 3 or higher in the NFL draft this year. There's talent to be had. This is one of the deepest cornerback classes we've seen in recent memory. Some great safeties available probably at round 3 as well for us. It's a draft where we can fix offense and defense, and I want our picks. The 2024 class is very talented as well. And the 2025 class, I don't want to give up that first round pick either. Okay, that'd be 4 years in a row without a first round pick. And it's not about being cheap or an allegiance to Tua. It is about an allegiance to this team. We have seen what has happened to the LA Rams when you F around and don't have first round picks for multiple years. Can you get lucky and win a Super Bowl? Sure. And what are the Rams have been left with now? Total disarray. They have not been able to reload. They're going to pay the price for it probably for years to come. Who knows what's going to happen to the LA Rams? Sean McVay might be at the door. Matt Stafford, there's uncertainty about his future. He'll come back this year, but who knows after that? Ramsey's being shopped. It's going to be a blown-up team. I want this Dolphins team to have success, but for years to come, not at the cost of one man, not at the expense and the shiny price tag of one player, but I want a team that I can be proud of. I want to see one of the best wide receiver cores in the NFL continue to improve. I want McDaniel to be able to use his genius to his maximum potential and have that running game that he so desires with that talented running back. Bebop, what is up? Thank you for tuning in, man. We're good to rock, man. Exactly. I'd rather not lose 2 first rounders and big money. I'd rather get some offensive linemen to protect Tua or whoever's back there, man. And a linebacker like Edmonds, of course. You can get Edmonds, a 24-year-old linebacker, to fix this core for years to come. You can get Bobby Wagner, the 30th ranked player in the NFL last year, who's only released because the Rams have to clear up cap space. It's like Devin White. I would rather trade for Devin White if I'm giving up picks. I'd rather trade for one of the most athletic young linebackers in the NFL, who's already a captain for the Buccaneers last year at the young age of 25, 26, who's won a Super Bowl, who talk about experience. Like, this is so many other avenues to go down, okay? And I get it. It's probable and easy to think that getting a quarterback can just magically fix everything. But it also can't. And then if it doesn't, you don't really have a lot of flexibility. I already have a QB on the roster who may or may not be the future. Whether that's Tua or Skyler, you guys can debate that, whatever. The point is, I want a team around him that can succeed. I want a team that can be good. And it's one of the funniest things, I think being a Tua-neer or being a Tua hater, you've got to be in the middle. You've got to be obviously a Dolphins fan. You've got to root for your team to have success. And obviously that means probably rooting for the starting quarterback, but it also means understanding that if he doesn't have success, you root for the team. And so I want the team. I don't want to trade away players. I want to add new guys in. I want to get the existing guys to continue being put in positions to succeed and to continue to grow and develop. That's the rumors I'd rather tackle. That's what I want to see. This team to improve. It's a team that we've admitted has holes last year. Where this was 2022 one of the most fun seasons I've ever had as a Dolphins fan. Of course, I'm 24. I haven't seen the glory days. Do I think that 2023, 2024 season can be the best one yet? Of course, man. I see a team that has a top 10 offense, that has a defense with oozing with potential, that at times was shining, at other times faltering a bit, that has now gotten a defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio who can mold it to its pure potential, who can grab the essence of this defense and say, hey, we've got a good talent in the front four. We've got some nice young pieces at corner. And if we can recover Xavier Howard's form, who knows how he can lead this secondary? Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, a good young safety duo. Maybe we add a nice third piece in the safety, whether it's a veteran like Jordan Poyer or a nice young up-and-coming star like Jesse Bates or a rookie in the draft. There is so many different angles to tackle for the Miami Dolphins that involve adding players as a whole, improving this Dolphins team as a team, that I think we should rather focus on, And it's insane to think that that gets labeled as a 2-year statement when it's literally me wanting to add more jerseys on this wall. I want more awesome names. It's not just 2 up there. I have Waddle, Holland, Howard. I'm sure all of us want better players. How cool would it be to have a Bobby Wagner aqua and orange jersey? Okay. I don't think we should get Jalen Ramsey, but how sick would it be to have a number 5 Jalen Ramsey jersey in your home? Just in the same vein that it was awesome trading for Tyreek Hill. When those picks could have been going to a Deshaun Watson trade, and you'd have been stuck with Waddle, Parker, Mac Hollins, Isaiah Ford. I'm so happy we got Tyreek Hill, an awesome jersey to add to the collection. And March 23rd is going to be that 1-year anniversary. And get ready, stay tuned. I've got a nice little video Tyreek Hill edit coming up to celebrate his 1 year in Miami, that 1,700-yard season. And I want to keep adding talent. Maybe we can add a tight end. Now with Dalton Schultz, I don't know if he will be the guy. I believe he's going to be staying in Dallas. But maybe, hey, in the draft, Darnell Washington's been picking up steam. Who knows if he'll be that pick 52? But I'd rather keep that second rounder, okay, and keep adding. It's oof. Dallas Schultz didn't get franchised. It was Tony Pollard. So Schultz might be a free agent. I don't know if we should pay him, but it's a big name to consider. Money that could be better spent elsewhere. Look, Walt Dog, hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Great options. Look, Hayden Hurst, man, when he was with Cincinnati, he was awesome. And he's a guy who's a great receiver in the same vein as Gesicki, but can block a little better. I love Hayden Hurst, okay? And he wouldn't Hurst our bank account either. Sorry for that terrible pun, man. CJ Gardner-Johnson at safety. Yeah, I saw he's not coming back, but to come to Miami would be awesome. A very underrated safety, whether he was with the Saints. I think he's also with the Eagles. My guy, this is the type of moves that I'd rather see. I'd honestly rather see CJ Gardner-Johnson instead of a Jesse Bates, in the sense that Bates is going to get a lot of money. And maybe even Poyer, who just is coming off his first Pro Bowl season and wants to go to division rival. Maybe he might milk that a tad, man. It's a lot, As long as to a Dolphin quarterback, I'll ride with him and root for him. Exactly, man. And the day he's not, I'll probably just turn the jersey over until I get a new one. Like I said, that white 17 is a Ryan Tannehill jersey. And, I love Tannehill. It's a rookie Tannehill jersey. But once he was in a Dolphin, hey, c'est la vie, man. Enjoy your life, Tannehill. I wore it when I went to a Titans-Lions game in Tennessee. But besides that, I'm a Dolphins fan, first and foremost. For sure, 1,000%. Raphael Knight, thanks for tuning in. I butchered your name. I'm sorry, man. Raphael Courtwright. I'm sorry. Small screen. But, hey, we're still rocking and rolling. Hayden's from Jacksonville area too. CJ's from Orlando. Yeah, man, bring those Florida guys back. It's, I mean, as I say that, I have to scold myself because I make fun of people who try to connect Florida players. And they're like, oh, well, he's from South Florida. He's coming home. And I have to remind them that, about a good 20% of the NFL is from South Florida. But Orlando and Jacksonville, you can't discredit that. At least they'll be a lot closer to home. They'll be able to tell the family, "Hey, come through." The Jags. Well, I was gonna say the Jags are bad, but they're pretty good recently, so can't make fun of them too much. I draft or sign a tight end after last year's results. I agree that money could be used elsewhere. That's the thing that's holding me back from looking at Dalton Schultz. So let's look at that. Drafting or signing a tight end is an interesting thing. Okay. We're basically saying, do we want to rock with Adam Shaheen, who's a fine tight end? He can block, he's got some hands, he's an okay route runner. He's a decent all around tight end. He doesn't excite anyone. That's fine. We didn't really use tight end last year. We had an uber exciting player in Mike Gesicki. So there is a camp, and I honestly have to agree, there's a lot of logic in it, and I kind of lie there. Why draft or sign a tight end after last year's results? That money or draft pick could be used elsewhere, man. When it comes to the draft, I do want Darnell Washington at 52, but if he really is that great of a blocker, if he's that great of a receiver, at best he's going to be our third best receiver, a nice guy in certain situations. He'll definitely help us out in the run game with that 6'7", 270 frame. But if there's a guy like Jack Campbell or a great linebacker or a stud offensive lineman, like a good tackle that fell, yeah, I'd rather take them instead of a tight end, as awesome as Darnell Washington would be, because we could better use those positions elsewhere. Now, if it's the third round and a guy like Sam Laporta has fallen, or we're looking at fourth, fifth round and like Luke Schoonmaker out of Michigan has fallen a little bit, and maybe want to trade back into those rounds, I could see the Dolphins going for that. But in the draft, rookie tight ends usually take about 2 to 3 years to get used to the NFL. It's the hardest position to transition to. So do I necessarily trust a rookie tight end to do it? Not necessarily, which means we would be just rolling with Adam Shaheen anyways. And when we don't have a first round pick, that second round pick has to be a day one ready to go player. Drafting one though, signing one, I guess we could go with the Dalton Schultz or maybe the Hayden Hurst one. I'd be willing to go for Hayden Hurst because it's cheaper. Maybe Evan Ingram as well on that cheaper vein. I don't want to commit too much money to it though. I don't want to put more than like $8 million, I think, for tight end, which would put us just outside that Dalton Schultz range, where I think it's going to get 10 to 12. But yeah, we could probably use that money more on offensive linemen, use that draft pick on some secondary or a linebacker or something on defense or running back. It's a nice time. Hey, man, me too, bro. Signing in from beautiful Plantation, Florida. That's me, man. Too. Sick. Plant's a great area. If Miami calls for CJ, he'd take $11 million. If they sell it, I bet CJ would take $9.5 million. Walt Dog, $9.5 million to $11 million is golden, beautiful money right there. Honestly, that's exactly what you'd want to see. I know Poyer and Bates would command more than that 12 to 15 million, and that's a lot to ask for a third safety, because I do want to still leave a lot of responsibility to Javon Holland, obviously, who seems to be a perfect fit for Vic Fangio's defense, and Brandon Jones as well. Should be a fun time. I think he's going to be recovering, but oh yeah, I just said Adam Shaheen 1,000 times. I meant Durham Smythe, guys. I'm an idiot. Okay, for every time I said Adam Shaheen, I meant Durham Smythe. I'm a dunce. Apologies for that. That's going to be a hilarious little thing to make fun of afterwards. But oh well, it's the downsides to live streaming. But I continue. I sounded like an idiot. Thank you for correcting me. Wow. Thankfully I'm tan, or I'd be blushing right now. Alrighty, we keep it going though. So, we do need some run blocking stuff. No, you're good. You're good. Thank you for correcting me. Honestly, man, that would have been bad for me for continuing on that notion. We did release Ethan Carter though. Haha, look at that. Let's get some street cred back a little bit. But hey, at the end of the day, it's probably why I lost those people in live. Oh well, keep moving forward, Nando. At the end of the day, I'd rather focus on other positions of need. I'd rather go for running back, linebacker in the draft. I don't want to sacrifice those future picks. And let's putting the tinfoil hat back on, and I've got the Tua jersey over there. So Mr. Tua, forgive me, Mr. Tua. In the event that the two-way experiment does not pay off as well, yeah, we're gonna need first round picks. Okay. Granted. Okay. If we traded for Aaron Rodgers or Lamar, then maybe we don't need to worry about that at all. But we're still gonna need to pay people. We're still gonna be in cap problems, and we're gonna become weaker over time because we won't have future first round picks. And yeah, so I don't know, guys. What thread should I pull? Should I keep tackling the quarterback thread? Should I tackle a little bit more of players that we can go for, little rumors? For those who did see this link, by the way, I am dropping a new series tonight. I should have introduced this when I had more people in, but I'm going to be doing a little, it's going to be a little fun time. I'm playing Retro Bowl. It's an awesome little game. And I can't even open my link now. That's too funny. Well, anyways, it's a fun little game where basically you play like an 8-bit little football and mess around, control the team, control the players, and pass around. So I'm going to show the link again here because it's awesome and I want us to play. And I want us, when it premieres, I want everybody to see it. So if you could, at 10:30 it's going to be going live, and I'd love for you guys to watch and tune in. It's going to be a new series. After this, I'll be recording episode 2. Retro Bowl is a sick little game. As you see, it's that 8-bit style. I'm controlling the Miami Dolphins. I'm playing the beginning of the season. I'll introduce a little bit how the game works, and then we'll play week 1. No spoilers. And then after that, I'll record episode 2. I'll play either 1 to 2 games of it and then upload it for Friday. It should be a new little series, hopefully providing some content during the off season to keep us engaged and just have some fun, honestly. So if you want to check it out, feel free to do so. I'm going to be dropping the link again right now. But let's rock and roll with it. Yeah, feel free to check that out at 10:30. I'll end the stream right before that. So if you want to transition and hop in with me, it'll be a fun time. But all right. Well, dog. Bebop. Right over here, boss man. At 10:30, it'll be premiering, so it'll be a fun time. Ooh, let's go Arizona Wildcats Pac-12 tournament. Yes, I will be. Raphael, thank you for reminding me. This is why you're a legend as well. Bebop, thanks for asking for the link. It should be above in the chat. But Arizona Wildcats Pac-12 tournament, NCAA tournament, basketball, March Madness. I will be covering March Madness. It's one of my favorite times of the years. I'm not just a football guy, although it is my favorite sport, my passion. I'll even watch XFL and CFL games, but soccer, basketball, hockey, they're all my jive, and I will be watching the NCAA tournament, of course. Jim Boeheim did retire, an absolute legend. Bebop, I think you saw that video on Twitter. That was hilarious. But I don't have any I don't have a horse in this race. I don't have Q's to root for. I don't have FIU either, obviously, because FIU is not really good at basketball. But hey, I will be definitely covering the NCAA tournament. As long as Duke keeps losing, I'm a happy man. So that's what I'm rooting for. I don't have a favorite yet as of now. I'll have to see how it all shakes out. But Bama's pretty crazy. So that's definitely something to check for. But that's tonight then. So Stanford versus Arizona in Vegas. Pac-12 football is I'm not too much of a fan of, but their basketball I can get behind a lot. So we're ready to rock and roll, man. And yeah, Bebop, that was me at Syracuse versus Duke. I'm a massive sports fan. So that was Duke at Syracuse, actually 2017 in the Carrier Dome. I'm going to share the video right now. Pay attention for your ears because I do scream pretty heavily in the video. But I just always like showing the video whenever I get the chance because it really shows my sports passion. Syracuse won on a game-winning 3. I remember it's 75-75. Duke goes up. They try to put up 2. They miss. Rebound. Pass to Tyler Lydon. Power forward. Goes in the first round actually that year. Picked 22 overall. No big deal. Tyler Lydon lobs it over to John Gillen, 5'10" guard. Takes it up to the key. And then 3 Duke players slide on him. He pulls up. Doesn't even matter. bank is open. Bada bing, bada bang. Syracuse wins 78-75, and I absolutely freak out. One of my favorite sports moments ever. I'm going to show it right now, but be warned. You might want to lower your volume for a second. I'm about to play this video, and I just scream and scream and scream. And excuse the profanity. Man. Yeah, I was definitely screaming like crazy. So it was a fun time indeed. No. Syracuse over Duke. Always. Duck Fuke forever, Oxshot. Yeah, Duke losing. America wins every time, baby. It's gonna be a fun time. And Walt, I will talk about that RB list right now. Let's get rocking with it. Yeah, that was a fun time. We stormed the court after that, and it's one of my favorite sports memories ever. And I'll always hate Duke, love Syracuse because of that. And John Gillen's a legend. But let's talk some running backs. Walt Dog, thank you for providing me this list. Like I said, 10:30 we'll be talking on that little retro bowl game. But for now, Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Minty Monty, one of my favorite running backs in the NFL. Jamal Williams, absolute stud for the Lions. He paced the NFL for touchdowns. Crispy Kareem Hunt, playoff Lenny Fournette, Dearness Johnson, also from the Browns. Melvin Gordon, he's a little fumble issues, but hey, he won a Super Bowl at least. Joe Mixon, wow. I think the Bengals might try to bring him back, but that's a tough one. Dalvin Cook is a cap casualty, probably waiting to happen, and Derrick Henry might be shocked. I think the last I heard, they're trying to offer asking prices of first rounder, but who knows how much leverage they have. And Nick Chubb might not be returning as well. It's very interesting to see what the Browns are doing. They're just really screwed for cap. So that beautiful running back stable that they had might be the first to go. Again, running back is a position where you have to go cheap if possible. So it does suck for the Browns, but their loss could be the Miami Dolphins game. Out of this entire list, I think the least likelihood, the guys that I don't really have in consideration, whether it's I don't think it'll happen or whether I don't think they're worth our effort. Miles Sanders, I'm not really too interested in him for the Dolphins. I think his best years were for the Eagles, and if they don't want to keep him, I'm not too interested in paying him. Guys getting their second contract, you've got to be really particular with them. Usually it's you got to check if they didn't really get injured, if their workload checked out. If it's too much, I don't want them. How their production varied throughout the years, if it dipped up and down, or if it just steadily improved. It's tough for running backs, honestly, to pay for them, and I feel bad because they get the short end of the stick. But that's how it is in today's NFL. David Montgomery might be interested. When he came in the NFL, he was a very talented runner, I thought. I thought he'd do big things for Chicago. Tariq Cohen really kind of derailed that career for a bit, and then when they didn't bring Tariq back, I thought, hey, this is his time. And then Khalil Herbert started muscling his way in, and I went to high school with Khalil Herbert, so shout out Khalil. Very happy that he found a success after Kansas and then transferring to Virginia Tech and then going to Chicago as a 5th round pick. He's started to become a lead back there. So if Montgomery doesn't return to Chicago, would I be interested in Miami for the right price? If McDaniel thinks he can muster out some for him, but he's been banged up as well. And that talent is still there, but I don't know if I'm really interested in Montgomery for the right price, though. Jay Mixon got suspended for games due to off-field issues. Bad boy. Wait, I lost the list now. Dang it. Jamal Williams, he did lead or was up there in the NFL in rushing touchdowns in general. He's got a great nose for the end zone. Love his personality out of Green Bay, then going to the Lions. I'd be surprised if the Lions don't bring him back. I get that they want to work DeAndre Swift more, and as a DeAndre Swift owner in my Dynasty Fantasy Football League, I don't want Jamal Williams to come back to Detroit, but as a football sense, it makes more sense for him to return. He was a very good player. He's a great locker room presence, a good leader, as shown from Hard Knocks, and it's someone I'd want in Miami, honestly, as a veteran point of view. Now we do have the Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert option to bring them back. So if we're bringing back some veterans, I'd rather bring back our in-house guys. But Jamal Williams, that nose for the end zone, can't be denied. And again, I love his attitude. I love his personality. It's someone I think would really do wonders for this team. So that kind of presence, you can't be understated in the locker room. So again, for the right price, I'm not trying to overpay him. If he's trying to parlay his big touchdowns into big money, you can stay in Detroit or walk to wherever you want. But if you want to come for a championship team, Jamal, come over. We're rocking. Crispy Kareem Hunt, someone who has a great relationship with Tyreek Hill. Now, whether it means too much, who knows? But I would love Kareem Hunt to come to the Dolphins. Now, it might be a little bit more money, and off the top of my head, I'm going to say Kareem Hunt might command about $8 million, $10 million. If Dalvin Cook right now has a contract of $14 million, so does Mixon, McCaffrey is around there. And I'd say Kareem Hunt's $8 to $10 million. That's worth it for Kareem Hunt, a guy who gave that second-year contract, wasn't really too injured. Okay. Oh, I guess this would be his third contract. Would it? Whatever. He's still very young. Hasn't had the biggest workload because he's worked behind Nick Chubb, so he's still explosive, and he can carry a full workload. I'd love to see him rock with Miami. I'd love to see what Mike McDaniel could squeeze out of him, that greatness. Out of the last couple of guys that we're talking about, this is the first guy I would really want the Dolphins to make a move for, that I'd get excited for even. Montgomery maybe a little bit. Same thing with Jamal. But Kareem Hunt, what I would finally get my ears perked up, and I would, ooh, baby, that's a move that's a very electric runner added to this backfield that can take a lot of pressure off any quarterback we're fielding out there, whether it's Tua, whether it's Skyler, that's if we need to, whether it's our backup. I think Kareem Hunt has the capabilities of carrying an offense for certain times. When you add Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle around him to prevent boxers from getting stabbed up as well, yeah, I love Kareem Hunt. Excuse me. Same kind of deal with Leonard Fournette, a very talented back. Not the most talented. Maybe he's not. If we're making a, running back one list, a top 12 kind of list, maybe he's 10 through 12. But talent can't be denied. Mainly for him to be a health thing. In that case, I'd want to add probably a rookie back as well to keep him fresh. But Leonard Fournette, that man can run, okay? And he's not called Playoff Lenny for no reason. Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Mixon maybe, Dalvin Cook, Henry, and Chubb are the only backs who really get me interested. Jonas Johnson, not too much. Cleveland can have him if they want him. Melvin Gordon, your time in the sun has passed. Please lay down your sword. Do not fight anymore. Melvin, please. It's time to retire. Probably. Or just be a veteran somewhere. Just don't come to Miami. Joe Mixon, I don't know much about that situation, so I'm not going to speculate on it further. As from a talent point of view, though, separating the art from the artist, Joe Mixon is extremely talented, a great back with great vision, great cuts, and coming to the Dolphins, maybe would be no joke. And then Manolo, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, man. Possible sponsorship for your Thursday Tinfoil show, Jiffy Popcorn. Hey, okay, I like that. A little popcorn action. We're good to rock, man. Bada bing, bada bang. So if we get one of those running backs you like, who leaves, Mostert or Wilson? So Wilson is younger, so my conventional wisdom is telling me that we'll try to keep Jeff Wilson. We did send a 5th round pick for him, so it would behoove the Dolphins to keep that investment. Now whether we would actually do it, I don't know. Raheem Mostert is a very electric back, and if we're doing a committee, I like Mostert chances is better just because he's faster, he's more dynamic, but he's going to be 31. So give me Jeff Wilson. Mostert, be a shame. He's honestly over the last couple of years, he's one of my favorite running backs in the NFL. Him, Jerick McKinnon, Jet, I love him. always liked those shifty, smaller backs who most of the time play for San Francisco. So, oh well. But thank you for your time. Most of it, whether you or Wilson, whoever stays, whoever leaves, I'd be happy with it. Sorry, I'm fixing my little light right now. But yeah, we'll probably end up losing one of those guys. This is a pretty solid list, though. Really, the guys who would move the needle: Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb, and Derrick Henry. Aside from Derrick Henry and maybe Dalvin Cook, they wouldn't command the most money. Well, Chubb would. Yeah. So Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, let's say they go from $8 to $10 million. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb. If they're anywhere in that 10 to 14 million range, they'd be interesting. The issue with Derrick Henry is that it's that first round pick, even if it's a second rounder. At that point, if I'm committing a pick, I would rather draft a running back just because there are so many in this class that are actually talented. I feel for it, and I would love a Derrick Henry-esque player. But is it worth that draft pick? I can't be sure. Why does my light want to fail me right now? Bang. In order, I guess, off the top of my head, of mixing it with what's feasible, what's practical, and what will actually probably happen, I would probably target Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, Chubb, and then Derrick Henry in that order. In terms of guys who can move the needle and make this offense to another level, Joe Mixon as well. Again, I don't know much about that situation, so I need a little bit of clarity on that. But I'd throw him in there probably in between Dalvin Cook and Chubb. He's very talented. Again, the guy when he was coming out of Oklahoma State, like I love Joe Mixon out of OSU. But sorry, I was trying to share this for later. But yeah, Retro Bowl. Also, remember at 10:30, I'm stopping the live stream right before then. This is going to be premiering my new series. Watch me play a little Retro Bowl and take the Dolphins to a little Super Bowl run, man. Should be a fun time. This is a nice list, though, man. I want some more running backs. We need compatibility and chemistry. Look what happened with Chase Edmonds. Agreed. I was surprised with Edmonds. He's a name that I called in the preseason to do very well for us. I thought that McDaniel, having coached in that NFC West, had seen a lot of the Cardinals to know what Edmonds was bringing to the table. Same with Sony Michel. And both those players ended up not really doing too much for the Dolphins. So maybe his eye is not perfect, but we do need someone with compatibility and chemistry, which is why Mostert and Wilson are even enticing options to begin with. They have a lot of familiarity with Mike McDaniel. So, why do I have that on my head? Miami Dolphins fan 29. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. I'm glad you asked. The Tinfoil Hat Thursday is the time when I just talk crazy, wild Dolphins thoughts, football thoughts, generals, and just speculate. I got the tinfoil hats. We're just thinking the tinfoil hat thoughts and the tinfoil talk, man. So I appreciate you for tuning in. It's one of my favorite segments every Thursday. And we've talked everything today from crazy Rodgers talks to crazy Lamar stuff to different trade thoughts, bringing different linebackers in, corners in. So many different thoughts, man. And right now we're speculating running backs. Pure speculation, baby. We're good to rock and roll. So thank you for tuning in, though. Todd LeBruto. Hey, man. Appreciate you for talking, for hopping through, man. It was a nice time chatting with you on Clockblockers the other day. And I'm glad you're checking out the little Nando Talk again, man. Bangarang. Hold on. I'm going to answer that Walt Dog, but Walton a freaking comedian. Always. We have 0 running backs on a contract, so signing them back and drafting one is a must. I agree. We're going to sign someone and draft someone, but this is my superpowers, baby. My superpowers. Do. I would draft a day 3 running back. A rookie back is not going to save this team. Sign a real running back 1. Jeff will be running back 2. Savon Ahmed will be running back 3, and a day 3 running back will be running back 3 or 4. I do think we're going to carry 4 running backs in. And if we're looking at day 3 backs in the 6th round, Keaton Mitchell out of East Carolina University, ECU, 4.3740. He's a little undersized, but he ran the 3rd fastest 40 out of any running backs in the class. That speed is gorgeous. And Devon A-Chain has ran a 4.32. He'd cost us a 3rd rounder. I'd rather wait a little bit, get a day 3 guy, you're right, and go for that 6th round back. Okay, at pick 198, if he's still there, that's golden. Eric Gray out of Oklahoma didn't run the 40, but he had a great combine. He showed some nice fluidity. I could see us getting him as well at 198. Now, if we get Mostert, Wilson, Savon, and then draft it back, I'd even be happy for that. If we sign the right back, I'm cool with that as well. I don't know how much money we're going to commit to running back, though. I want us to target linebacker, offensive line, and then maybe a position of at secondary before we think about running back. But it could be worth it, man. Could be worth it. Scotty, thanks for tuning in, man. I bragged about your mock from the other day. Hey, I appreciate that, Scotty. What was your favorite part? What was your favorite part about it? I think I had some pretty good ones, whether it was mock draft Monday or the minute mock draft that I posted earlier. It was also a pretty fun time, man. We're starting to get some good traction on those mocks. I think we're really figuring out the strategy. For me, it's really gonna be best player available for the Miami Dolphins, and I want us to go for a linebacker in that 2nd round, but don't feel forced, okay? If there's a great offensive line prospect, like a good tackle starts falling, maybe whether it's Matt Bergeron, if we're in love with him, or DeJuan Jones is still there, go for it. If we're enthralled with Darnell Washington, ride. If you think Jack Campbell's the best guy, you do it. If you think that a running back calls your name, whether it's Jahmyr Gibbs or you think, hey, Zach Charbonnet is not going to be there in the 3rd round, let's get him in the 2nd. It's never a reach if you get your guy. I'm all for it. I'm all here for it, man. So it's going to be a good time. I think there's some great moves in the future of the Miami Dolphins, and it all starts at the draft. Well, it starts with free agency and then the draft. We were very lucky to get Wilson. I think that really saved that bad move to Edmonds, honestly. Hey, well, thank you, man. I try to connect with the chat at least. I might not be the biggest fish. I might not have the most glorious points. I might not be the savviest football mind. For those retuning in, I was made a Shaheen Stern Smythe mix up earlier. I'm here to have fun and talk and interact with Dolphins fans is my thing. So Walt Dog, Raphael, Todd, Scotty, Bebop, like Jose, everyone. I genuinely appreciate you tuning into the chat and then talking along with me. Like, I know I have the premiere of my episode at 10:30. I might move it back a little bit to 10:40 just because I want to keep talking. I want to keep chatting with you guys. Although I'll be in that chat as well. It's a nice time just being able to talk and just keep exploring wild Dolphins thoughts while we're here, man. Todd, that's also very great though. In most mock drafts that I've run, trading down from that 2nd round pick at maximum to pick 59, maximum is like 6 slots. Yeah, it pays off, especially if you can get an extra 3rd rounder. The flexibility it opens up in the 3rd round. Like if we trade down, wow. Like trading down, generally you'll still be able to get a good linebacker. If not, you just go best player available. And then in the 3rd round, you can really hit best player available because you'll probably be able to get maybe a tight end like Luke, like Sam Laporta. If not, you can get the best running back, best safety, and best corner available to you. And then in the 6th and 7th round, now you're able to just get the other guys who were missing on the board and then tackle more interior offensive line depth, just other positions of need. Trading down is gorgeous, man. Yeah, the trade down, Campbell, Laporta, Brown, Thomas, and Mitchell. I love the way that look out, man. That's exactly the one I was thinking in my head. In that trade, like you trade down and you still got Jack Campbell. We still got Jack Campbell. We got Sam Laporta, and then we got Trey Hodges-Tomlinson at 84. I know with that third extra, with the extra 3rd pick. We got a beautiful deal, man. I heard glorious. Yeah, Will Ferrell. one of my favorite comedians, one of my favorite actors, man. It's Anchorman is one of the first times I ever practiced public speaking was in those tones of the Anchorman. Oh, unique New York, baby. I love that movie. So, sleeper draft pick will be a defensive line edge guy to watch. Walt Dog in the 7th round, DJ Johnson out of Oregon. I know we've been burned by athletic Oregon pass rushers in before. I was gonna say pass rushers in the past, but this isn't the same scenario. We're talking about a 260-pound, 6'3" defensive end, really, who also runs a 4.6 40. I love DJ Johnson. This man is an athletic monster of freaking nature, and I'd love him on the Miami Dolphins. So let's rock and roll with it. Yeah, again, we got no comps, man. It's a shame. Hey, it's the material, but don't act like you're not impressed. The little plaid. So that's a classic scene, man. Veronica Corningstone. Boom. You stay classy, Miami Dolphins, was something I wanted to drop as a tagline, but I didn't think it really fit. Oh well. Melvin Ingram, Andrew Van Ginkel, Trey Flowers are all free agents. Miami only has Bradley and Jalen Phillips as designated real pass rushers. Yeah, Emmanuel Ogbah, I guess he might fall in this category sometimes. Not really. When Melvin Ingram and Jalen Phillips were the only two guys in that solo training camp of pass rushers, like in training camp, they were working those solo drills as dedicated pass rushers. It's interesting to see. I think we might bring back Melvin Ingram, that veteran presence. And I'm saying this mainly because I watched that strip sack touchdown of his on repeat against the Patriots. I'd love Melvin Ingram to come back. Trey Flowers, he could come back if he wants to for a very cheap deal. Andrew Van Ginkel, he improved a lot in this last year to the point where I want him to come back, but I also, let's see how much money it's going to be. Because Cameron Good is still on the team. The point of drafting him in the 7th round last year was to be that Andrew Van Ginkel replacement now. So I want Andrew Van Ginkel. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to keep him, but we're there for right now. Popping Thursday presented by Jiffy Pop. Tinfoil Hat Thursday. Welcome aboard. I would love that to happen if we get a little tinfoil sponsor. Hey, man, if I had an actual tinfoil sponsor, I would make a new tinfoil hat for every single episode. You know, shout out KFC Radio. It's one of my favorite podcasts. And hey, the 1 Minute Man with the tinfoil hat on is one of the greatest segments they have. And you just break out the aluminum foil, make the hat in the second, and wakata, you're ready to go. Guys, I'm supposed to premiere this at 10:30, but I want to watch it with people. So I think I'm going to move it back to 10:40. So I apologize to anyone who's waiting for this. It looks like it's only me, but all right, let me fix this in a second. Is there anything you guys want me to tackle in the meantime? Anything you want me to hit on the tinfoil hat talk? Any zany theories? Any wild thoughts? Do a bit with the silver lining moment brought to you by Reynolds Wrap. Okay, you know, the silver lining moment of the combine was seeing how lovely this running back draft class was. At one point, I was scared thinking that we had to get our running back in the 3rd round, that at pick 77, if there was 3 backs, maybe we could gamble a little bit and go for pick 84 to get that best running back out of Dwayne McBride from UAB, Tank Bigsby out of Auburn, or Devon A-Chain out of Texas A&M, but no longer. Okay, not only did Daniel Jeremiah reassure me, but with my own eyes, I saw all the drills. I saw all the running backs run. And I was very impressed. This is a good running back class. And I think that's the biggest silver lining. Either that or corners. Okay, we're going to see a lot of talented corners in this draft class, man. We're going to see a lot of the guys coming out from all the rounds. Very talented, top to bottom. Even in the 6th, 7th round, you can get guys like Cam Brown out of Ohio State, Cam Mitchell, who had a phenomenal combine out of Northwestern, very fast guy. Very interesting draft class, man. I'm very excited for this. Mr. Q, it's been a while, bro. It's been nice to see you, man. Nice hat. You know how we do it on the Tinfoil Hat Talk vibes. Oh my God, I have to stop this premiere or it's not going to happen. Shit. I messed it up, guys. Can I even stop this? Bam. Oh, can't reschedule. The premiere has already started. So, without further ado, then, this has been an awesome Tinfoil Hat Thursday, man. I would love to keep talking. I would love to enjoy with you guys, but it is time to move over to my little actual new premiere of Retro Bowl. So thank you for all tuning into this Tinfoil Hat Thursday, but it is time for me to go and switch over to Retro Bowl, the new episode, the new series. Oh, thankfully, hearing in 2 minutes. So I have a little bit of time to switch over. It's a fun time. It's game played on the iPhone, man. And it's about an 18-minute, 20-minute episode. Each episode will have more game time. So the first about 5-10 minutes will be explaining it and drafting a team. And then about the 8-minute mark, 10-minute mark, I actually get into some gameplay. So please check that out. It's going to be a fun new segment. If everything goes well, I should be recording episode 2 tonight. Give some suggestions on things you want to see, whether you want some further explanation on the game, whether you want more gameplay, and it's a fun time. I'm sorry I can't continue the Tinfoil Hat Thursday talk. I'm going to have to switch over to the premiere, though, because you want to watch it. We can talk in the chat, though, if you guys want to, so feel free to keep asking questions there, and I'll talk about it. But I wasn't able to reschedule the premiere in time, so my apologies on that end. Thank you all for tuning in, though. And we did meet with more corners than any other position in the draft. So that's my final Tinfoil Hat talk. We're going corner. I think we're going for one in the 3rd round. Trey Hodges-Thomason's got my eye. I got my eye on him big time out of TCU. Great corner. But that was a bunch of guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to check out this other show, I'm dropping the link in the chat right now. Thank you all. But Thursday is my favorite segment. Always a fun time. And I'll see you guys on the other video if you want to check it out. But without further ado, fins up. See you next time for the next Tinfoil Hat Thursday. And as always, enjoy. You stay classy, Miami Dolphins fans. Quarterback with the top 3 picks seems like a lock. And then tight end. Let's snipe one, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll catch you all next time. Bada bing, bada bang. Fins up, chins up. And bam, welcome back to Nando Talk. Today we're doing something brand new to the channel. We're playing Retro Bowl. That's right. It's a little classic little football game on your iPhone. Little 8-bit graphics, but super fun. You got to control your favorite team. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins is what we'll be playing. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll make a little coach. We'll make